Hi everyone, I'm Peter Fox, founder of Red Belt Marketing, and today we're going to show you how to build a good welcome email. Arguably one of the most important emails, as this is going to be the most viewed email right after someone opts into your list or gets that first discount code. And starting off, this is my website here. Right now, for a limited time, we're going to be able to build out 10 email flows and add 10 to 100,000 additional email revenue for your brand completely free, and just in exchange for a testimonial. So get your slots in; they're filling up fast. We probably have 3 more left, but this is what we're going to be able to do: build out the entire welcome flow, abandonment checkout, abandoned cart, browse abandoned, site abandoned, and so forth to launch your brand and get that retention strategy for you and your email, designed in Klaviyo, built through Figma. And today we're going to be going over the welcome email. So the welcome email is broken down into 3 parts that all good welcome emails should have. And so number one, that's the hero image and discount code, to the body of the unique selling points, differentiation, or brand story. And 3 is just going to be the popular products and the shop now section. So when people opt into your list through your pop-ups or through your newsletter, they're coming for one thing only, and that's probably the discount that you're offering them to get them to sign up to your email list. And so when they come and see your email, that's all you should really be focusing on for the top part. But you also want a branded email to introduce your brand and to get them adjusted to who you are and what you stand for. So taking a look at 2 brands that are doing this well right now, True Classic. True Classic is one of the fastest growing brands over the last 5 years, and they really have a lot of data, so they really know this is the most important. And so the first welcome email you get is they're going straight into, hey, this is your discount code. We want you to use this, and we want you to use this on our most popular products, because if you buy one of these, there's a good chance that you'll come back and make more purchases and increase that revenue on the back end. And so they give clear steps. It's almost the first thing you see. It's just a quick welcome, and then 20% credit back, and you're activating that there. And since this is actually a store credit and not just a discount, they actually have steps on how to issue that, and the backstory behind that. And then they go into the best sellers, making sure that you are going to use that discount right on these immediately, and then just a why now, or why this brand, and gives a clear us versus them chart to showcase their differences. And this just gets you introduced to their brand. They're very minimalist, and so that kind of reflects in their email design. Next, looking at Helm, it's a boot and leather designer, and they instantly give you your discount code, say welcome to Helm, we're glad you're here. Come down again, add some value here on the discounts, giveaways, exactly what you're gonna get in the newsletter, again with the welcome for 20% off, and then go right into the shop now, the best sellers, and then kind of gives an infographic on what differentiates themselves, and make sure that their brand is good. And so these are the most high converting email copy and structure you can do for your welcome brand. It's very simple, but it's the most important part, because this is the email that your customers are going to see the most. It's going to be your most viewed email. So it's really important to have this as your structure. After that, you need to nurture your new people who have discovered your brand, because they're probably going to forget about it almost immediately as soon as they click off your site. And so that's why you should build your own welcome flow. These range from 4 to 7 emails. And then this is the flow that we've seen works the best. Sending more emails is always a good idea, as long as you're providing value within every email. And so today we're going to be actually creating someone's email for them. And so we found this brand called Edwoa Beauty. They're in the beauty space. They create textured creams and serums for textured hair. And the reason we picked this brand is because we were doing some research on to people who probably didn't have the best pop-ups. And so we found this one. Their welcome email actually ended up in our spam, and it looks like they don't have much structure to their email, even if this was supposed to be working. Just a quick enjoy 15% off, and then it looks like if you click on these, it looks like they're just product photos, so no backstory into the brand, no differentiation, and this actually isn't going anywhere, because it's actually just ending up in spam instead of the main inbox, and that's because these pictures aren't loading properly. So we're going to be designing them a brand new email that's going to look good and actually convert for their brand, so they can get their revenue attribution up to around 40 to 50% through email and not just front. So here in Figma, what I like to do first is to structure. Here in Figma, what I like to do first is actually structure the email out, kind of just get my bearings right to make sure that I have a good sense of what goes where, and how each section needs to line up. And so I just do that by adding a bunch of texts. So we can start off with a welcome to the brand. Then we'll add their logo underneath that, or brand name, and then we'll add the hero image, just as a simple structure here, and then a call to action. And so this is going to be all above the fold for when that iPhone comes in, because 90% of traffic is actually on mobile and not desktop. So make sure you're always optimizing for mobile as your most important aspect of email creation. And then underneath this, we want a transition to the body. So differentiation, slash brand story, why people should care, why they should actually buy this brand. And then down here we want the shop bestsellers to make sure that people are going to be using their discount code. Yeah, we want to add the discount code as well. And so we're going to have the discount code throughout the email a bunch of times because that's the main reason people are actually clicking on this email. Okay, perfect. And then another final thing is we want to get the brand's colors. So it looks like here it's just this kind of dark gray and black, but with the pop of the the pink and the different blue colors. So what I like to do is I just like to take a screenshot and paste that in here, just so we have the actual colors of the brand and that we can make sure that everything is on par with what they're using on their website. Okay, perfect. So first thing I'm going to do is I am going to kind of build this section by section. And so we're going to start with the welcome and logo. So first we're going to need a good hero image. And I'm thinking because it has to do with textured hair, we want a model with the product. And so I'm going to go find that real quick. Okay, here we go. We found this picture of a model holding up the brand name. It was cut off a little bit here. So what I like to do is I just like to add a rectangle here and kind of match it up to what it is. But you see it doesn't really flow well, and it's different around. It's different from this side to this side. So there's really two options you could go here. You could use a gradient by going here and kind of you need two gradients here, but you just want to bring that over this one and kind of flow it from this to that. So this gradient would kind of look like you want to match this one up to the top part, and then you want to match this bottom one down to the lower part. But as you can see, it's just really not blending. So what I like to do, and actually just screenshot this, just copy that, and then you just want to go into something like Grok or any of your any image generator, and you just want to say, hey, blend the background together, and that will blend the background together. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to change the fonts because we want to kind of put it to something like this. And so getting the font right is actually kind of hard. The GPTs aren't great at matching font quality, and so you just want to if you're doing this for someone that you haven't done this before, just find a font that kind of looks like it. We're going to use DM Serif today. It's used in a lot of beauty brands. It looks clean and it matches to the website pretty well. So here we're gonna get their logo now. So what I like to do is I just like to go to their website, find their logo, screenshot it, and bring it into remove background, just so you're not playing around with anything. Take this and paste that in there, and then match that up using here. And now we got a good hero image with the brand. This needs to be centered. Okay, perfect. And then we want the discount code to be, right there. And so what we're going to do is just going to add some different styles. So I'll be right back to do that. Okay, perfect. So that's looking good. We got the hero image set. We got the discount code above the fold, and we got the call to action. So that's us done for the first section. And then underneath we want the differentiation and the brand story. So that you could either go, this product versus that one, either Ottawa versus, a generic product, or we could just tell the brand story with some pictures, which I think would do it justice here because coming back to this, we would like to, nurture them and keep the educational content flowing with the discount code and the welcome flow to make sure that, they're buying, if not on this first one. And so, okay, perfect. So now that we're done with the top section, we want to move on to the body. And just a reminder, it's unique selling points, differentiation, or brand story. We could either go this versus that, us versus them, with our brand versus a generic, or we can kind of tell a brand story, see what discounts they can get, and some newsletter giveaways. And so for that, I'm just going to go to their website, kind of read around, and kind of generate some text to really tell their story and why this was created, and the passion that the founder has behind it. Looks like Julian is the one who created this, and is the one who is really the icon behind this. So right here it says texture is ritual, and so I actually like that as a headline. And so we're going to add that just right into our texture is ritual as just a headline to bridge into the next section. Okay, perfect. So I found some text from their website and used Claude to kind of package it correctly. Um, it's always great to start with a "We Believe" text to really emphasize, what your brand stands for. And so this is what Claude and I came up with little edits. We believe textured hairs always deserve better, formulating clean, gender-neutral hair care for multicultural curls, coils, and kinks with science-backed ingredients, honest packaging, and zero compromise. And so this ties in all to the wording on their website, the different verbs and adjectives they use to really describe their brand, and it's a really great introduction to Owo Beauty and what they stand for. And then it's getting a little text heavy, so we want to add some pictures here as well. And so I'm going to go add and get some pictures off their website so we can, spice this up a little bit. Okay, perfect. So I just added a simple box and found, 3 images off their website. And so that's looking pretty good right now. I don't love this white here, so we're just going to add some of their color in the background of this here. Okay, perfect. So we added that in as our background. And now we want to move on to just the next section here. So we're good there. We just want to add another shop now at the end of this little section here, because if they only scroll down, then they just might not see the shop now and get reminded. So you really want to emphasize that your email flows from top to bottom, and so that they always want to read more. So we're just going to add another discount code here to make sure that they're reminded of that. Perfect. So we just updated that, got the shop bestsellers, and now we're on to that section here. And this is pretty simple. We just want to do, a four-piece design or a 6-piece design, whatever you think most fits your brand, just so people can use that discount code and get that working there. Okay, perfect. So I just went to their website, saw they stock shampoos, stylers, leave-in treatments, hair treatments, oil treatments, and so I just picked a few of their products here and put it in. As a brand, you always want to optimize for high AOV or order value, and so bundles are a great way to increase margin and increase profit and revenue, all the 3. So make sure those are added in here. So just going over this one more time, we have our hero section. This is what they're going to immediately see. They're going to get their code, and then they're going to get a little background on the brand. Going to get a background on the brand, get their code again, and then be able to buy some bestsellers. So that's the shop all sign. And then finally, we just want to wrap this up with a little footer to make sure that it's a clean looking email and have all the necessary GDPR compliance rates inside of this. Perfect. Then we just added one last time that they can get their discount code as they end the email there. And now that we are done here on this, okay, perfect. Everything looks pretty good here. Now it's just a little cut off. We don't need this extra space, so we just want to click on frame and make sure that we can just get that right up there. Okay, perfect. We want to slice it up by things we want to be able to click on as well. So that's there. Slice 2 is going to be that. Textures ritual. Just keep copy and pasting your way down. Now that we're down here, we just want to make sure that we're slicing by the different products. Okay, that should be good there. Okay, so now that we have all our slices here, we want to export on 2x to improve image quality. We want to take this. Okay, now that we want to go over to a site called I Love Image to compress these files, which helps email deliverability and load times inside the email. And so we just want to go to that untitled. Okay, and then you just want to add them. Okay, and then you just want to start adding all these in here. Okay, so that there's going to be some gaps here. So you just want to turn these to 0. Get them in. And then there's going to be some gaps in between as well. And you just want to change that to 0 as well. And just make sure there's 0 padding, because something can fall through the cracks here. Okay, perfect. So that's done there. And then you want to add your social links here, so you can add them. Just add your links to there. And then finally, if you want, okay, perfect. And then you want to add your links to everything. So for Ottawa, we would just link this to the shop now. We'd link all these to the actual products, and then you're good to go. And so that's the whole thing. Thanks for watching. If you are interested in me and my team designing, implementing, and running your email strategy for you, just go to repel.com and we can talk soon. Thank you.